I have 9 TTMs that I'm ready to show off to you guys and very excited. So let's get started with the first one, and it comes from Mr. J-Hook. J-Hook is a second timer for me. Got him back earlier this year. This one took a little bit longer than the first time, and very excited to show it off. I got it back on June 16th, and it was just kind of, I wanted to wait a week because these graphics are kind of tough to put together sometimes, and I was ready to get the video out. J-Hook grew up in the Chicago area, so I had to ask him if he was a Cub fan growing up and who his favorite player was. He said he was a Cub fan, and Bill Nicholson was his favorite player growing up. So very awesome to get a response from J-Hook. The next one comes from Elroy Face. He is a TTM legend, a Pittsburgh Pirates legend. Any other adjective that you can throw at him, or superlative rather, that you can throw at him, he was awesome. And just like J-Hook, I waited a week to show this one off. Sorry guys. This one is going out to Vern Law next, so it should be dual sign. The other two guys are unfortunately no longer with us on this Buck Hill Aces card, so get prepared for a very awesome Vern Law autograph coming back. Moving on to the next one, and its greatest second baseman of all time, Ryne Sandberg. It took a while. If you know, he is currently, his cancer came back, and it seemed to be a little bit more aggressive, and he's taken a lot of time in between TTM autographs. So, got him back again for the umpteenth time. Very excited to get Rhino back, because he is the greatest second baseman of all time. Not that Nap Lajoie guy, not that guy who hit a walk-off homer in Game 7 of the 1960 World Series. None of those guys. It's Rhino. Rhino is the greatest second baseman of all time, in my humble opinion. Moving on to the next one, and it's a Notre Dame legend. It is Austin Carr, or Mr. Cavalier, as Cleveland Cavalier fans might call him. Austin Carr scored 2,500 points during his time with the Fighting Irish. He also averaged 41 points per game in the NCAA tournament, which is an NCAA tournament record, and he dropped 61 points against Ohio University in the NCAA tournament as well, which is also a NCAA tournament record. And Austin Carr was his name. They don't retire numbers at Notre Dame. They just honor their greats, and his name is hanging in the rafters at Purcell Pavilion. That took place in 2011, so very awesome to get a Notre Dame legend back. Moving on to the next one, and it is Marty Keough. Marty Keough is a first-timer. He signed that 1960 Topps card over in the left panel, and so I wasn't sure if he just didn't sign it because the card had a crease, or if the main photo wasn't him. You know, Topps wasn't always perfect. It still isn't perfect, but cool to get a Marty Keough autograph back. And the note about 11 hits off of Cal McClish. So I had to look up Cal McClish. I don't know who he is. Cal McClish's given name, believe it or not, is Calvin Coolidge Julius Caesar Tascoma McClish. What were his parents thinking? I have no idea, but that is a heck of a name to have, Julius Caesar. Okay, interesting. Must have been big history people, or I don't know, maybe he was born during the Coolidge administration. I don't know. Either one, very cool. And I have a question to ask all my followers here. He took Bob Gibson deep twice. What would you do if he took Bob Gibson deep twice? Answer below if you want. The next one comes from Randy Vataha. He is a second timer for me. Didn't realize that him and Jim Plunkett started their NFL careers together, played at Stanford together, so they were a dynamic duo with the Stanford Cardinal. I think they were the Indians at the time, now the Stanford Cardinal. And they were a hot commodity with the New England Patriots back in the early 70s. Jim Plunkett, Randy Vataha, a great dynamic duo before Rice and Montana. And the next one, for the umpteenth time, It is Bil Kilmer returning a TTM for me. Awesome to get Bil Kilmer back. A lot of the same notes that I have from the other previous times. Pro Bowler, played in Super Bowl 7, yada, yada, yada. But it's very awesome that Bil Kilmer still signs for free and being a college football Hall of Famer. And the next one, we're not done yet. It is Greg Pruitt, a Cleveland Browns legend. Though he got a Super Bowl ring with the Los Angeles Raiders. Didn't realize that Greg Pruitt had 22,000 yards in the NFL between return yards and rushing and receiving. So Greg Pruitt, guy that maybe should get a few more eyeballs for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know. They don't like to induct or return people. So maybe that's why they're not putting him in. And it is time for the last one. It is Mr. Wayne Causey. Wayne Causey is a first-timer for me, I believe. So cool to get Wayne Causey back. So my note about the first homer off of Steve Gromek. He is a Cleveland Indians legend, but Steve Gromek, I believe is how you say his last name. Wayne Causey hit a homer off of Steve Gromek, and it happened to be 26 years, almost to the day, before I was born, and it was almost 2 years before my mom was born, and almost 2 years after my dad was born. So it's just kind of interesting that, the timeline and how, things work out, and 26 years before I was born, just kind of odd to me. I like those facts, figures, that kind of stuff. So, till next time, watch the wheel for the winner. Leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Till next time, everybody, have a great weekend. See ya. So, because I screwed up the trivia question, who were the Hall of Famers that started the game is what I meant to ask. Who started the game? And it was John Mackey, Ted Hendricks, John Riggins, Don Maynard, and Winston Hill. But because I screwed it up and I said who were the Hall of Famers that appeared in the game, I allowed everybody who answered the question in. So that is Barry Berry, Alan Twitchell, Basement Card Collector, Brody Hardman, Kite Curiosities, and Autographs 2000 are in the spin. So we're going to find out who the winner is here momentarily. And let's see. Going to shuffle it a couple of times. And then we're going to get to the wheel. Here we go. Round and round we go. Let's see who it is. And it's stopping on Alan Twitchell. Congratulations, Alan. I will get those cards out to you in the mail momentarily.